Howdy y'all, this is Dwight and welcome back to my channel. Well, as we can see, I have me a package here that I'm going to be opening up, and it just arrived 15, maybe 20 minutes ago. Of course, as we tend to do sometimes, I've been watching quite a few videos, and there was this particular tree that caught my eye and got my attention. Of course, as a gentleman of Bonsai Northwest mentioned in a comment, you watch enough of a certain variety and you tend to start wanting it. And he ain't wrong. Um, Now, this, fingers crossed that I'm going to have better luck getting the variety of that I'm wanting. Um, I looked around and I actually got this off the old Amazon. It seemed like a reasonably priced deal, um, but to my understanding, this is a fairly hardy tree and you can take cuttings off of it reasonably easy. So, one way or the other, I think that I'm pleased with what I ended up paying for it. I'll just say that. Um, I will go ahead and bring y'all in closer, and that way we can take a look at the label of where it came from, um, and we'll take a look and see what I purchased. Okay, and as we can see here, I'll go ahead and bring it up a little bit closer. This is Brussels Bonsai. Of course, you can see their information there. And again, like I mentioned, this was through Amazon, and it seemed like a reasonable deal. Of course, I could be wrong, but it was something I could afford nonetheless. Um, Now, I will go ahead and at this point clue y'all in that this here is a Chinese elm. And I'm going ahead and cutting the top of the box open here. And let's see, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut down each corner. Nice. Okay, I can see in the top right now. And I will actually bring you all up real quick, let you all have a peek as well. That's how it's packaged down in there. And I'm just going to go ahead and cut the box opening here on the side. That way it will make, or hopefully make, retrieval easier. I can get a piece of cardboard out to help. There we go. Let's fold it down better. Okay. I have it taped. Oh, excuse my camera. I'm going to lower you all down a little bit here. I will go ahead and untape it. Of course, this came UPS, and I'm sure it got thrown and kicked around. So I will say, even though this is in here slightly crooked, it handled the trip reasonably well, in my opinion, because they have taped this in here quite nicely, I must say. There we go. Now I will move the box out of the way. Set this down right here and finish removing the tape. It did come with a ceramic pot, which was another nice selling point for me. Start cutting on it, I guess. So quite honestly, this is going to be my very first little tree that is in a pot that's a little bit more traditional to bonsai. So that is another thing that I'm kind of excited about. Oh yes, it looks like the soil is nice and damp. So that's good because it is quite hot here right now where I'm at. Is I just came back from town and it was, according to the bank sign, it said 86 degrees. Of course, that was Fahrenheit. So we are still slightly warm here in my area. Okay. Now this is advertised to be 5 years old and between 6 and 8 inches tall. Of course, they're small. They had a couple different options, and this was their small option, which of course was a little more reasonably priced, or affordably priced, I should say. Um, okay, we got a tag here. Of course, it says it's outdoor, mainly washed out, but Chinese elm. Um, Protect from temperatures below negative 20 degrees Fahrenheit. And where in my region where I live, that would be a record low if we got that cold. Thankfully, I'm going to go ahead and cut this off. There we go. Now we will get down in single digits, but it is rare that we get below 0 Fahrenheit. Okay. Looks like it has some new growth on it, which I imagine that I am not going to have this in direct sun right away. I will have to say that I am quite pleased right off the bat. I'll have to wipe this off a little bit. Bring y'all in just a tickle closer. Okay, and now this came out a little bit. Got us a little bit of a shoot. There we go. Got some nice shoots. Now this right here is dead, and I'm going to go ahead and trim what I see is dead off of it. Just this very tip, because that is still green looking right there. But you can tell this has been trimmed, obviously, because to give it a shape. Yes. Of course, this is one of those things that I bought kind of blind, because they said it wasn't an exact picture. You know, the picture you seen wasn't the exact tree. It just gave a basic description, so I kind of took a chance. But I'll be honest, I do like the trunk. I'm not sure. I would assume this side over here would be the front. I do like the slanted trunk line. And if we look right up in here, we got some nice branches coming off this way. Of course, it comes up here. So there's actually a lot of interest to me on this. I'm well pleased. So this is something that we will be seeing on my channel. Get a look at the pot. I'll hold this to make sure. Yes, it looks like they've wired it down. Still a little soil there. But it is very damp right now. So I will not need to water this anytime soon, doesn't look like. All right, this is quite exciting. I'm really hoping I did not get this too late in the year. Hopefully it will perk around nice. It looks like it's healthy. We are just in the beginning part of August, so I think we have plenty of time before fall and winter for this to recover. So there we go. And so I want to thank everyone for stopping by and taking a look at my new addition. this little Chinese elm. And like I mentioned, of course, it was advertised, and I'm going to read to make sure I don't get it wrong. It's advertised as a small 5-year-old, 6 to 8 inches tall little bonsai tree in the ceramic pot. So thanks again for everyone for stopping by and taking a look at my little Chinese elm that I just received. Till y'all come by and visit me again, y'all take care.